That's right. Back at it again. It's full custom hot dog, baby. And we're doing another Blu-ray review. That's right. A very fantastic episode for you today as we talk about the cult classic, The Bye-Bye Man from 2017. And I'm just joking when I say cult classic. I don't think anybody likes this movie. I'd be very surprised if somebody does. I'm sure they exist, right? Horror fans exist for every movie. Every time I watch a terrible movie like this, I always like to imagine that there is one person that just loves this movie, and they probably say, I don't know why. I just love The Bye-Bye Man. I don't. And we'll talk about that later, but we've got a Blu-ray release here of The Bye-Bye Man, a film that is technically a movie. Neat. Series of moving pictures with sound. Form a narrative. Sort of. So anyways, Blu-ray released by Universal, and it's kind of a bad release. There's not even a trailer, a theatrical trailer, but you do have two different cuts of the film. That's right. If you saw the theatrical cut and thought, man, I sure would love 3 extra minutes, this is the version for you. This has the unrated cut, which has 3 extra minutes of gore. Wow, what a difference that makes. And by that I mean not at all. I am snarky today. I'm not usually snarky. It's not a good movie. It did pretty well in the box office though. As a release, it's a D+. Because while there's nothing else on here, the film looks nice in terms of quality of the HD, but of course it was all shot digitally. So yeah, it's gonna look nice. But getting another version of the film is always nice, even if it's only a measly 3 minutes. So what are you gonna do? Bye-bye, man. I think a D+ is fine. If it had a trailer, maybe a little bit, a behind-the-scenes thing, maybe that'd be a C. But yeah, this is a subpar release of a very subpar movie. I was actually very surprised that they're not doing Bye-Bye Man 2, because this one did better than it should have, really. I think everyone's surprised is it's nonsensical in a way. So let me tell you what it's about. 3 friends, okay, so this is according to IMDb. 3 friends stumble upon the horrific origins of a mysterious figure they discover is the root cause of the evil behind unspeakable acts. Don't say it, don't think it. That's what keeps going on in this movie. And that's how I feel about this movie. Don't talk about this movie, don't think about this movie, and you probably won't. There's not much to talk about. Directed by Stacy, who has done things. Most notably is Hood of Horror, the Snoop Dogg movie. And then that's it. And her husband was the writer, and he's acted actually in a ton of stuff. 41 credits to his name. Most notably, Dragon the Bruce Lee story as a studio executive, Coneheads as Captain Air Traffic, and Down Periscope as Spots. It's according to IMDb. I don't recall any of those. I recall some of the movies. I don't recall him in those movies, so that's neat. He's in Bye-Bye Man playing a, what's his name? Mr. Daisy. I think he's like a flower. He's in a greenhouse. It's in one of these scenes here in the mix-up. So we've also got a surprising cast, and I don't just mean the young stars, a trio of people I'm not familiar with. Douglas Smith, Lucien Laviscount, which is a fantastic name. Sounds like a name for an anime character. Cressida Bonas. I can't do that justice in any way here. But you do have the fantastic Doug Jones as Bye-Bye Man, who's in the film for, I don't know. They must have paid him $200 and said, give us 20 minutes here. Because he's barely doing anything, but you may recognize him from, or not recognize him, I guess, in The Shape of Water, Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy 2. Anytime you need a tall, skinny guy in a bunch of makeup who can still act, he's talented. I don't want to make it sound like I don't think this guy's good. Doug Jones is great in a classic. He's also been in films where he doesn't wear makeup. I definitely, offhand, I recall him being in John Dies at the End. Just pops out of the back seat with the leech. A film that I'm always very confused about my feelings about. Faye Dunaway is in this as well, which is very odd. Someone from Network, Bonnie and Clyde, Chinatown. Carrie Ann Moss, who I feel like we didn't see much of after The Matrix, really. I mean, she's kind of in stuff sometimes, but I don't know. She's pretty good. What is she doing? And a big surprise here, Leigh Whannell, who I thought I forgot what he looked like, and then as I'm watching this, I just kept thinking that this person looked like Leigh Whannell. If you don't know Lee, I'm doing that wrong too. Horror writer, wrote Upgrade, I believe he wrote Saw, might have directed it as well. He's writing and directing the new Invisible Man. Apparently he is doing a new Escape from New York remake. I can't wait to see everyone talk about how that's unnecessary. Directed Insidious 3. Acts as well. He's been in quite a few movies, the Insidious films. I believe he's one of the paranormal investigators that is touring with Lin Shaye. I like those flicks. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent. This movie is bad. I know what you're thinking too, like, hot dog. Why? I mean, yeah, we know it's bad. Why do you own this movie? My dad got this for free at a Big Lots, and if you don't know what a Big Lots is, it's like a Piggly Wiggly or a Dollar General. If you don't know what those are, they're like dollar stores, I think. Bargain discount stores. And my dad somehow got this for free and gave it to me. I'll take a free copy of Bye Bye Man, but no one else should. Don't say it and don't think it. It's an odd movie because the rules aren't very apparent. Let me see if I can look these up. Meanwhile, one of the weirder parts of this movie that I found out afterwards is it's based on a story from a book. The story is called The Bridge to Body Island, and that has a mythology of the Bye Bye Man that's not in this movie. In this movie, they keep saying like, oh, you're gonna hear these coins, and then he's coming for you with a dog, and you don't really know why, and that's all. That all just happens if you happen to know those words, the Bye Bye Man, which is just, I'm all for adding new movie monsters and mythos and things like that, but there's nothing concrete here. All it makes you do is you kind of flip out until you reach a tipping point where you have to kill your family and then yourself. And I guess that could be spooky. I do like the idea of a killer, a supernatural killer that is sort of past and is sort of mimetic, I guess. Like it's an idea. There's something called Rocco's Basilisk, and I'm probably saying that wrong as I frequently do. Rocco's Basilisk. It's a thought experiment that went horribly awry, and I know you're thinking that's crazy. Some people on some thought board, intelligent discussions and whatnot, things beyond hot dog's understanding, had this idea that what if there is this AI from the future or another dimension, and it has to ensure that it comes to life and it's responsible for acts, and if you know about it, it could potentially kill you. And apparently they stopped talking about it because it was driving some of their people crazy. I'm thankfully too dumb to be affected by that argument, as I read it multiple times and still obviously don't fully understand what's going on there. Anyway, so that idea of a monster killing, just the idea of existing, a la that Rocco's Basilisk, or Freddy Krueger in Freddy vs. Jason, where he had to come back and just his name being in the ether of Elm Street, of Springwood, made him sort of slowly regain his power. I like that. I like that a lot, and the fear attached to it, of course. So I think that's a cool idea, but the rules aren't very well thought out there. I think you've got a character that's just too overpowered to be reasonable. I think just making someone go crazy isn't enough. Then you got these things with these coins. There's not necessarily a time limit. At least The Ring has you go, and I know I'm rambling here. The Ring has a time limit. It says in 7 days you're going to die. There's none of that with Bye Bye Man. Everything's just assumed. But I did mention it's based on a story that I guess is based on a local legend or a mythology. And here's what I'm reading from IMDb. Let's see. Complex mythology for the Bye Bye Man. He was an albino born in New Orleans in 1912 who ran away as a child and became a derelict who lived in a train yard. After going blind, he began murdering people and cutting out their eyes and tongues, which he sewed together and brought to life using voodoo. The resultant creature became the Bye Bye Man's literal seeing eye dog, helping him hunt his prey. Several elements from the story, notably the dog and the motif of trains, were retained for the movie, though their purpose is left more elliptical. All that really means is he has his dog in the movie. You definitely don't get the fact that his dog is made of tongues and eyes. There are trains in the movie, which none of that is in this movie. None of that story, because to me that sounds cool. Of a supernatural killer who has a dog that sees for it or him, but the whole thing of him being able to attack anywhere, anytime, and then he just shows up. It's a mess. I sound like a mess talking about it. This film is a mess, experiencing it, and it's a shame. And again, very surprised there's no Bye Bye Man 2, though I wouldn't see it. There's an interesting idea in there somewhere, and if you can give it to somebody that's just a little bit better than the person who did Hood of Horror, and granted, I haven't seen Hood of Horror, that could be a masterpiece. I'm willing to bet it's not. I would put money that it's not, but it could be great, and maybe you get someone better than that, and then you do Bye Bye Man 2, or just Bye Bye Man Awakening, like Annabelle Awakening, Bye Bye Man Origins. I don't think going blind in a train yard is enough to make you kill people, especially when he ran away on his own. It doesn't sound like he was abused or anything to make him a monster. Just sounds like a bad little fella. Anyway, enough ranting and raving about Bye Bye Man. It grossed $22 million in the US and Canada on a budget of $7.4. So again, where's Bye Bye Man 2? Not that I would see it, although I do have this movie pass and I would probably watch Bye Bye Man 2. I don't think I'd have seen Bye Bye Man 1 with this though. Anyways, enough ranting, enough raving about Bye Bye Man 2. These stills here are taken directly from the Blu-ray, as I tend to do when I try to do these Blu-ray reviews, so at least you get a feel for what the film looks like. And I try to take some of the best shots, which I think there are some cool shots here, but there's a lot of things that aren't good, as I keep talking about. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Definitely let me know if you are a Bye Bye fan in the comments below. I love talking movies, as always. Give this a like if you like it. If you don't like it, I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about that in the comments too. But thank you for watching. As always, I am Full Custom Hot Dog. You can follow me on Twitter. It's Full Custom Hot Dog without the last O, because it is just too long for Twitter. And every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. I should say, me and my buddy Honest John do a live show talking about movies and weird things that are related to movies. So it's kind of neat. So hopefully you can join us for there. And until next time.